Okay, so there's the quad. I thought I'd just give you guys a little bit of quick background. So everything was working fine up until just recently. I was running firmware version 3.28, super solid. Um, I had a gnarly crash and I fried my flight controller. So I is a Bardwell F4. I'm running Betaflight. I took that flight controller out. I put in a new Bardwell F4 and got that all soldered up. And then while I was at it, I was like, hey, I wonder if there's any new firmware updates. So then I went and I updated from 3.28 to the latest version, 3.72. And ever since then, I've been having issues. I don't know if it's firmware related or not, because I've downgraded all the way as far as 3.23 and then back up to 3.28 and no change. And let's see what else. I tried putting in a brand new Nano RX receiver that I had laying around that hadn't been used at all. Still the same issues. And I'm really stumped at this point. I feel like I've tried just about everything. There's just a usual route that I fly around my house like every single day, so I know it really well. And you know, I've easily gone out a half mile, just like no sweat, with LQ showing 99. And now I can't even, I've had multiple fail safes and I can't even make it a couple hundred feet away from me in my neighborhood before my LQ starts to drop into, you know, the 80s, the 70s. I even had one the other day when I turned around. I didn't even go a quarter mile, and I turned around and it dropped to like 33, and I nearly fell safe. So I really don't know what is going on. I'm really upset about it. So okay, I'm gonna plug this in, and I'm gonna walk around and do the little test to show you the uplink quality. I'm running OpenTX 2.3.5. I have made sure that the antenna is good. It's kind of hard to do with one hand, but it doesn't twist. There's a little bend, so I believe that antenna is good. Okay, so here we are, a couple meters out from the quad. This is in my house. Right now we are at 10 milliwatts. So let's go over. Here's uplink. I guess we can move around. So there's the quad. I'm not sure why my camera isn't focusing, but so here we are, like in the corner. So we'll move over again. Now we're in front of it. Okay, now let's change it. Okay, we're on 25 milliwatts now. I'm not sure, it shows LQ 300% and it switches like that. I'm not sure what that means, but okay, so there's the quad. We'll move around again. Okay, let's come back and we will change it again. We are now at 100 milliwatts. Okay, let's walk around. Okay, and lastly, let's change this to 500. I should mention that dynamic power is off and it's set to 50 hertz locked. Okay, now we're on 500 milliwatts. Interestingly, these numbers are much lower than when I tested earlier outside. I'm not sure if that makes a difference being inside or outside, but let's move around again. So yeah, there's that. I hope we can figure something out. I don't know if it's... The only other option I could think of was getting someone else's Crossfire light module and trying to bind one of my receivers to it to see if it made any difference. But... And I should also mention, just at the moment, I'm running firmware version 3.23, just because I had downgraded to try and see if I could, if it would work. But
inactivity alarm.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really stumped. Something's up though, for sure. It's just you know how it is. Like you fly something a lot and you get used to it, and especially in an area that you fly all the time, you get used to like watching your LQ and you know where it dips and where it's not, and it just doesn't seem right. Like I'll fly out 200 feet in front of my house around a tree on 50 hertz locked with 100 milliwatts of power, and my LQ will dip to 85, and I know that is not right. So yeah, I don't know what's wrong. I feel like at this point I've exhausted my efforts. Like I've done literally everything I can think of outside of trying someone else's module. But yeah, I hope this information is useful to you guys and we can figure this out, because I'm definitely really frustrated. I don't know if there's an option to get it replaced by ready-made RC, because I really don't want to be without my Crossfire for 2 to 3 months. That is insane. That's a long time. So yeah, hopefully this video is useful, and if you have any questions, let me know. At this point I'm stumped. Everything was running great until it was all when I crashed and fried that flight controller and then put the new one in that all these problems began to arise. And I'm a pretty smart guy. Like I know what I'm doing for the most part, how to set up stuff. So that's why it's like I know that something's not right. And I've had multiple fail-safes. I broke my camera just the other day for my fail-safe, and I wasn't even a quarter mile out, and I was on 50 hertz. So anyways, thanks for your time.